mention, I wonder you will. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wake up in the morning with my bed, yeah. Waking with the money like I don't care. I think I'm money on me.
Hi, my name is Ntando Ndlovu, and I'm the founder and CEO of KBM Agency, which is short for Kingston Brand Management Agency. KBM Agency is a brand management consultancy with a strong emphasis on digital solutions, digital transformation, to be precise. So we've adopted something we call boxless thinking, which we define as an unending willingness to learn and innovate. When I graduated in 2017, I had already started working on the agency in 2015. And within those 2 years, we're still just trying to learn, what it is that we wanted to do with this consultancy. In 2017, after graduation, I looked at the job market and I thought, looking at Zim, the possibilities of getting a job were not really going to be easy. So I figured maybe let's start creating the jobs. And the first step was creating that job for myself and moving on to creating more jobs with this venture. So our biggest challenge is a challenge experienced by many other businesses, both startups and established businesses, which is working capital and being able to retain talent. You see, businesses like ours are driven by talent. They're driven by the human resources within the business, and just being able to retain a consistent team in this environment and without the right amount of working capital is very difficult. And that in itself is a symptom of working capital issues, which is something that every other business in Zimbabwe is experiencing at the moment. COVID-19 has forced us to rethink the way we do some of our internal processes. Our work is largely brand strategy, creative and digital work. And our creative work requires us to get into a space, together and brainstorm. So we've been forced to adopt, brainstorming through live conferencing, through Zoom, through Skype and the likes. And that alone just forced us to learn something about our business that we're in, which is it's very easy for us to work remotely, for people to work from home and still meet deadlines when need be. So just being able to consistently be able to recruit and replenish our team has been a big victory that I would love to highlight. And I'd like to then go on and highlight some of our successes with our clients. Green Supermarket, Bulawayo and Blantyre-based retail chain, is one of our retainer clients. We've been working on their brand for over a year now. United Refineries, the manufacturers of Royal Cooking Oil and a couple other national brands, are also a recent victory that we've had. Just breaking into those that tier of clientele is not easy as a startup because they really have no reason to listen to you. So being able to convince them to give you that first step in is quite something. I want to also highlight Ster-Kenny Co. We worked with them when they first arrived in the city of Kings, Go Bulawayo. We helped them settle down, get familiarized with the city, and we really enjoyed our brief work with them. COVID again, it's opened up so many businesses to the need to digitally transform, the need to adopt digital tools to improve their customer experience, to improve their sales channels. And that's been a silver lining for us because we've been able then to get into doors we previously wouldn't because they didn't understand the value of social media, they didn't understand the value of an e-commerce platform, the value of just having a digital brand presence. With the government, the first step they need to do for startups, speak for startups and not just my line of business. But for entrepreneurs and startups generally, we need more capacity building. Our schools are churning out a lot of people that are not built for solving problems per se, but just pushing paperwork. So we need to rethink the way we're educating our children, the way we're educating future leaders. And secondly, we need a lot of countries have adopted these hubs and these incubators where, a startup can get in, spend the next 3, 4, 5 months building their idea, getting technical support. Because at times as an entrepreneur, it's not about the money. It's about just getting into a space where you can be allowed to grow your idea. So if we could get government and private organizations investing more in entrepreneurial hubs. To young entrepreneurs, if there's something I wish someone had told me when we were starting out, it would be that the most important thing is getting up and getting started. And dealing with things that are within your reach. You can worry, we spend so much time worrying about things that are beyond our reach. Worrying about where am I going to get capital, where am I going to hire people from, etc. But I'll tell you what, you just gotta start with whatever is within your reach. In 5 years, we are hoping we can open an office in Harare, so that we've got 2 offices in Zimbabwe. Bulawayo will remain our headquarters. We really like being at home, being in our creative city. And we're planning on opening an office in small, let me say, growing African countries. So we're targeting Botswana next. From Botswana, looking at countries like Namibia, countries like Kenya, countries like Rwanda. That's where we want to grow before eventually taking on the big cities, the big countries like South Africa, Nigeria. But that's where we want to go. We want to open offices in key growing cities, key growing countries, and hopefully help businesses in those cities and countries digitally transform.
Act responsibly. Wash your hands frequently with a disinfectant, antibacterial soap for at least 20 seconds. Lather your hands thoroughly. Scrub palm to palm, in between the fingers and thumb, to the back and fingertip. Protect yourself and those who matter the most to you. Use Fresh Health Joy soap. Clean hands save lives.
1 out of 99 problem. I'ma hype it up for my progress. Never gonna stop, never resist. Turn them haters into them work process. 1 out of 99 problem. 1 out of 99 problem. I'ma hype it up for my progress. Never gonna stop, never resist. Turn them haters into them work process. 1 out of 99 problem.
This is Victor Dube, aka Chef Victor.
I'm a professional chef and CEO and founder of The Pizza Monkey. Well, I've always had a passion for food, good food actually. Passion for food, and I started cooking at the age of 8 years. Started cooking breakfast, baking cakes and all, so yeah. My passion for food has grown ever since then. After high school, I went to Capsicum Culinary Studio in Pretoria. That's where I studied my diploma in culinary arts. So after that, worked in South Africa, came back home, worked there, and then one day, we were chilling with my friends, so yeah, we were at a chill out.
They were like, they need snacks, and then yeah, I made some pizza and everyone loved it.
And so I actually thought, why not make this a business? Yeah, so that's how I started.
There's there's a lot of challenges actually, because first of all, I'm actually the only person working here. Like literally, I wake up, I prep everything. I'm the one who does the buying, I'm the one who delivers, and I'm the one who makes pizza. First of all will be labor. It's been really hard, but I'm trying. And another disadvantage is there's not really initiatives that offer young entrepreneurs money, like loans for young entrepreneurs to get things like equipment and all that, because basically I'm still using my oven from home, so I only do one pizza at a time.
Catering equipment is very expensive in Zim, and just in general it is expensive, so those are
challenges are things like that, labor, equipment, all that, COVID has affected my business drastically because basically ingredients are cheaper and easier to source in South Africa and Botswana. So COVID, borders were closed, and also first of all, that really affected my business. And I'm also a private chef, so I cater for personal clients, and I do parties, any gathering, so COVID has really it cut all of that off. There weren't as many parties, there weren't as many weddings and all that. So COVID really affected in that way. To say it's harder to source ingredients, and basically you don't have as much business as you'd want to have.
And the successes since I started on the 1st of July, I've made 400 pizzas to date.
Even though some weeks are slow, some weeks are good, but it's showing great potential. And everyone that's actually tasted my pizza loves it. So that's one thing that actually drives me to keep on going.
Those are one of the successes,
Well, I think they could try and come up with a few initiatives to try and help out young entrepreneurs, like loans, which are paid off in a longer period of time, seeing that you're only a young entrepreneur starting out, so you won't really be able to pay back that money really quickly, so they could assist with initiatives like loans, and stuff like that, basically. Well, what I would say is, if you have a dream, push it. Don't wait. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna face challenges, but at the end of the day, you gotta push your dream, So I'll tell every young entrepreneur there, every young person, in fact, who has a dream, don't give up on your dream. Just try it out, Even though it's hard, at times it's impossible, but at the end of the day, if you try it, you never really know what might happen, Something very good can come out of it. So I'd advise young entrepreneurs, just have confidence, don't ever give up on your dream, no matter how hard it is. Even if it takes 50 years, 20 years, whatever, don't give up.
Well, in the next 5 years, I see myself as a very successful entrepreneur who's running a very successful franchise. I see Pizza Monkey all over the world, not only Zim, Africa, but all over the world, literally all the continents. I see it there, Sky's the limit.
One out of 99 probably. I'ma hype it up for my progress. Never gonna stop, never resist. Turn them haters into them work process. One out of 99 probably. One out of 99 probably. I'ma hype it up for my progress. Never gonna stop, never resist. Turn them haters into them work process. One out of 99 probably.
Sanibonani, igama lami nguNomashawekazi Michelle Nkosi Damasane, indodakazi kaMpangazitha, also known as Lady Chawe, and I am the CEO and founder of Ndebele Crush. I didn't plan it. It came off as a joke, really. Someone came to me and said, "You're one of my Ndebele crushes." I decided to use that as one of my taglines, seeing as I'm an artist, that every time I would tweet, I'll be like, #Ndebele crush. And after that, I decided to gift some of my friends within the industry with Ndebele Crush t-shirts that actually hit it off because a lot of people saw them wearing them and they decided to purchase their own. And from then on, I got good reviews and a lot of people wanted to purchase. And I realized that Ndebele Crush was actually a reflection of one of my passions, and that is the preservation of one's culture and identity. And to start off conversation, and long and short of the story, that's how the business started. And I figured that this was a good opportunity to venture into some of the passions that I'm really passionate about, and that is a preservation of identity and culture. And I decided to use clothing as the means to an end. I think one of the major challenges, I'll start with challenges, is the fact that you're starting something with no knowledge of what to do in terms of a business, running a clothing business. Started off with t-shirts, so I now had to find out stuff about printing, getting my own printers and getting tees, qualities and everything. And that was really challenging because everything was so new and overwhelming. The successes, I believe, are having your items being worn by some celebrities. So we had a few celebrities from South Africa wearing Ndebele Crush, some local Ulayo artists also donning the Ndebele Crush apparel. And I think for me that's a good start. And one of the major successes for me is seeing people from other tribes wanting to own a Ndebele Crush t-shirt. And for me, that's one of the biggest successes, because we are not wanting to be tribal and limited to one ethnic group only, but we want to appeal to the masses. And for me, that's a success. Like with every other industry, COVID-19 has slowed down everything, but we are grateful as Ndebele Crush that we've been able to still manufacture products throughout COVID-19. We've had good feedback from people. We've had people buying products. So COVID-19 came as a blessing as well, because a lot of people were now more aware of what they wanted and what they wanted to get out of whatever it is that they wanted to purchase, whether it's a t-shirt, and the purpose behind it. Money is usually the first thing we think about when we are asked the question of what kind of support do we need from the private sector and from the government. But for Ndebele Crush, one of the major supports that we need may not necessarily be monetary, but it's more about spaces. We need platforms. Like for example, with the government, give us platforms within our cultural ministries to actually start conversations about who we are as Ndebeles, who we are as Africans, as Ngunis within the country, so that our children, those coming after us, actually have a better understanding of our history, of our identity. And what better way to actually evoke such conversations with clothing? So from government, I would actually ask for platforms and spaces in which we can create more opportunities for people to talk about our heritage through our clothing. And from the private sector, the same thing. Give us a platform. Get your company to purchase anything from Ndebele Crush and start conversations that are inclined to your vision as a company as well as to our vision as a company, and that is to always converse about identity and heritage. So above money, which is great, we would love money, but we would love opportunities for platforms to be created for us to design more. And if it's a platform of giving us a warehouse, that would be great. platforms of allowing us to dress certain people, or even be part of the tourism industry, that would be great, because at the end of the day, we just want to not only highlight who we are as Amandebele, but also highlight who we are as Zimbabweans. And I think that's very important. And I think Ndebele Crush can do that. That's the kind of support that Ndebele Crush needs. Just do it. Start, do it. I always tell people that if you're passionate about something, go for it. But don't end at passion. Find the purpose behind your passion, because your purpose is going to fuel your passion. It's going to make you want to wake up each day. It's going to give you the needed, oomph whenever you feel low, because the industry is tough, the business is difficult, really, and sometimes you need something to encourage you and lift you up when things don't go well. So just do it, go for it, trust yourself, but always have a purpose. Find the purpose behind what it is that you want to do. And purpose is there for life. Wow, Ndebele Crush. I see Ndebele Crush clothing, dressing a lot of people. Dressing Bulawayo Yonke, that's my dream, actually, that Bulawayo embraces Ndebele Crush, but most importantly, Zimbabwe embraces. We're dressing the who's who in Africa. Who knows, maybe our brand will also go international. I see Ndebele Crush expanding its line. Right now we have just your tees, your sweaters, your caps, and your watches, but we actually want to venture into more stuff, such as your handbags and your shoes for the ladies, belts for the gentlemen, and shirts, something more formal. So with Ndebele Crush, in 5 years, I'm seeing us having our own store, rent-free, because I'm not gonna pay rent for nobody, rent-free, and just expanding it, making it into a viable business that's a standalone, and making it into a legacy. And over and above just giving someone something to wear, it's a store where people come in and actually find some form of knowledge that they desire to find in terms of who we are as a people. Like I said before, identity. And you get to understand the culture and history of Amandebele, the culture and the history of the chevron, which is one of our landmarks within our logo, the importance of the chevron, the importance of what it means to us as Black people, because it cuts across all ethnic groups. And obviously we want to increase our range, have more products within the Ndebele Crush apparel. So in 5 years, I think that's where we see ourselves.